Now today we're going to take a ride up to Joe Padula's beautiful shop. Check out the restoration project. He's been working on this for quite a while. It's a 77 Yamaha Rd400, very similar to the one I have. And I have also not seen the finished product. I restored the fairings on his Ducati 888 a few years back. I have never seen the bike in one piece. I'm going to get to see it today. And we're probably going to get a little ride in. He's got his GS up and running and very reliable. So we're going to try to get a lot of things done today. This will be definitely a fun day. So here we are at the big reveal for Joe Padula's Rd400. How much left to go before we're going to be going on a two-stroke ride, baby?
Pipes. We're a master cylinder.
Pipes. I got pipes. I got a spare set.
No, I got my pipes right there.
Oh, you got the DGs?
I got the old DGs.
Okay.
And I have the factory ones over there.
Yeah, I got a spare set of factory pipes. You got it timed so far?
Yep.
Time it with a light or with the...
Well, I did it with the dial indicator.
Okay, yeah. Oh, you got the stock carbs?
Everything's
Perfect.
stock.
Yeah, perfect. What's not to like? Chrome fenders. Wow, I have an extra chrome fender if you need one. Hey, the wheels look nice.
We did the upper triple clamp.
Did you polish these? Or?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I know you're a fanatic.
These were disgusting.
And this is the powder coating the guy did on the swing arm?
Yes.
That looks nice. Did a nice job. You know you can buff powder coating. I don't know if you know that.
I waxed it with the Colonite before I put
Colonite, yeah. Colonite's
He
the
did
best.
the swing arm. I bought a tool to take the springs off the shocks. He did the shock springs.
Okay, yeah, the shock springs are powder coated too.
Welded this piece back on.
Yeah, with the DG pipes, you got it. I know. A true story. Bill Manthe. I had never met him. He was watching a video, saw that I needed a kickstand. I had cut that piece off and lost it, and the gentleman that he is, he sent me a spare kickstand that he had. Bill, thank you very much. That is a true story. And I still have the letter hanging in my shop. Thank you, Bill.
The first day I got the bike home, it was just covered in two-stroke oil. The guy never cleaned it.
Wow.
So I took out my pressure washer and I was blasting it off.
That'll do
I
it.
accidentally waved the wand by that.
Ah!
I assumed it was clear-coated, but
Yeah.
it's not.
Sorry.
It's
Came out nice. Now this is where you need the parts I just gave you, the master cylinders.
Right here.
Okay. Perfect. Well, you got two from the two of them. I'm assuming you. Now you have three. From the three of them, you can make one usable part. This is the big thing. The stock air cleaner. You got it all, baby. This is the one that. Oh my God. This is the one that leaks.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Watch.
Okay. Yeah.
There's nobody.
Somebody
home.
overboarded is what happened.
There's nobody home.
Yeah, he did a nice job. That's nice.
Spring was a reproduction from Economy Cycle.
Okay, yeah, give them a plug for sure. But some people might not know that if you have powder coated, because I know I had the MT09 wheels, the blue powder coating, and I buffed it out. It came out just like paint, no difference, but it's really thin.
Yeah.
Because paint usually you have a lot of clear. There's no clear on this.
No.
This is, as soon as you rub this, the rag is going to turn black. But that's nice just the way it is. You did this, the lower.
I painted that.
Okay. Yeah, well, it looks clean.
Painted this. I probably have between the front wheel, taking all of this apart, repainting this, masking the border.
Yeah.
Buffing every nut and bolt. The wheels I did with an acid wheel cleaner and a toothbrush.
Yeah.
These wheels are impossible to keep clean. They're too
Toothbrushes are
porous.
good for doing your teeth too, you know.
Absolutely.
This is the part I hate. Oh no.
Listen,
No.
when my toothbrushes wear out, this is where they go.
You're a dentist. What kind of tires did you put on?
The only ones I could find. I wanted the Avon. Can't get them in the sizes I need.
Can't get them?
Not in the United States.
Oh, you're cheating. Look at this. He puts them right. I do it the old-fashioned way. Just pull them all apart and figure it out.
I'm still,
Oh, now the horn doesn't work.
that's the next area that's got me very nervous.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is what I hate about electricity. They made if this had a GS headlight, but when this goes back, everything's got to be.
It doesn't even look like it's gonna fit.
And then you need to hit it with a hammer or a can of beer or something. Now you were telling me that. Oh, this is the switch. Okay, you were telling me the story about something. I don't remember what it was. That self-canceling turn signals.
Yep.
Mine doesn't have it. Believe me, they don't.
All you need to do is look at the back of your Speedo, and if there's one harness coming out, then you don't, or you have the
Okay.
wrong Speedo.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's two harnesses, then that's your self-canceling turn signal.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, yeah. Wow, you got a lot of stuff going on here, baby.
This is the most assembled it's been.
Oh, well, but you know what you're doing. look at the. This is what I like. Look at. You see, you have a professional shop. I don't have any of this. I have an unheated garage.
This is what I'm using for a reference. See the poster right in the upper left-hand corner?
Ah! Oh my God!
So when I say, is this piece supposed to be gloss black, satin black?
When I bought my 76, that's exactly what it looked like. Oh my God! You got other stuff up here? These are your race pictures when you were racing?
That's me and my two friends up in Mossport, Canada.
Okay. Oh.
And my GSXR broke
Oh.
the first 20-minute session, and Glenn gave me the Aprilia RS250 to ride, and I had so much fun on it that the other two guys rented
Cool.
them for the weekend.
Oh man, look at this.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
That's one of my favorites.
Nice. Nice. You got a nice shop. Beautiful.
That's the 86.
This is
Pocono.
your 86 at Pocono?
Yeah.
Cool.
And this is the R6 at Summit Point.
This is you at Summit Point. Okay. Oh, is that you wheeling
No,
over there?
that's James at Daytona. I wish.
Don't tell anybody. Nobody will know. They know you're a wild man. Yeah, that's a nice shop. I love it. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I got 2 extra sets of pipes. I'm done with pipes, though. My neighbors convinced me not to by running around with unbaffled pipes. So probably the next time we see this bike, it'll be, we'll be riding together. 2-stroke day, hopefully coming up soon. We never know when that happens. Luciano's got his NS250R ready. We're ready for some 2-stroking, and all we're waiting for is Joe's going to finish this up, I'm assuming, very, very soon. It is absolutely immaculate. In real life, I don't know if you can see how clean those wheels are. And some of the detail stuff, the little chrome spots, he had a little chrome rust on some of the chrome. He chemically removed the rust, and it's really an immaculate restoration. It's going to be a beautiful bike when it's done. And I enjoy going to anybody's shop that shares the passion I have for restoring these old bikes, especially the 2-strokes. Joe also has, and this was the next part of our visit, I wanted to see the 888 Ducati with the fairings that I restored. And when if you only knew the adventure, or if you followed the channel, you know we had quite an adventure. Even just getting the decals from Australia proved to be very time consuming. It went over many, many videos, but we brought those fairings back. In the end, those fairings are better than new. And I wanted to see the bike as it is right now.
Your name on it.
This is the one I restored the fairings on? Let's see. Wow. Wow. Nice. Nice. Boy, I'll tell you something. Wow. I remember those fairings. I'm so sick of looking at them. And those decals came from Australia, for anybody that doesn't know. I had to get them from Australia. That's beautiful. Oh, Luciano. Oh, Luciano. We gotta have a Ducati, baby. Wow. Nice. Yes, these fairings are on. The full restoration is on about 40 windy videos. Wow. That is a big job. Wow. You have any idea how many hours we put into that? And you put some of them in too.
Mm-mm.
No?
Oh, it will.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Leave it running until we're both on the floor. Terry will come and get us. Yeah, that sounds great. Now, anybody that's never been to Joe's shop, you're in for a treat. This is just the most immaculate Ducati I have ever seen. This is really nice. Now, I was happy to be part of the restoration, and during the restoration, I wound up taking a lot of photos because I knew someday we would get to see this in real life, or in the best of all worlds, we'll get to ride somewhere this summer. And when I saw it in real life and saw how whistle clean it is, and there's a great story behind it. Next time I'm by Joe, I'm going to have him tell a story. But it wasn't always this way. It had been dropped, and we had to do what started out to be restoring one panel quickly became an enormous job, because we decided, or I should say Joe decided, that we were going to go right down to the rafters and get this restored perfectly with new decals. The decals had to come from Australia. It started out to be only one fairing, and we were going to use the other one to match. But when we got into it and decided we wanted to do that, they were perfect together. There were some little issues with the other fairing, and it was the middle of a very snowy winter. And I told Joe, let's just get some color right paint and get the whole thing done to where they're both perfect. And it required a lot of work. There were a lot of little details that had to be taken care of. Again, they're all out on the video, and you just can put my name in quotation marks and Ducati 888 restoration, and there's a bunch of videos of doing all the repair work on this. And this was really labor intensive. Now, these pictures are not in any special order, but I do remember, and I clearly remember, this was the job that never ended. It just went on and on and on. And every time Joe would come to the house, look at how much snow there was that winter. Every time he'd come to the house, we'd sit and have coffee and discuss it and talk about it, and then add some other detail to it. But like everything we do in my shop, it's messy, it's dirty, it's time consuming. And somewhere down the road, if you're patient enough, it winds up being a very nice job. At least this turned out to be, in my estimation, this might be one of the really nicest and cleanest 888 Ducatis for sure that I've ever seen, and maybe for all time. I don't know, but we're going to get to ride it pretty soon. In the meantime, this was some great memories. Now, also in the course of the day, we went out. He had his GS 1100E. It's the twin to my bike. His has a lot less miles on it. He's done a lot of restoration work on it. I had my MT-09 today, and we had a nice cruise of about, I think it was 91 miles. Joe and I have been friends for many years, and he helped me with the garden and do the stonework in the back of my house. Karen and his wife are very good friends, and we've gone to dinner many times. But the best thing of all is looking forward to these two-stroke days that are coming. The winter is almost over here, and we are ready to start buttoning up these restoration projects. I still have work to do in the shop, but the summer riding season is just around the corner, and I am really looking forward to it. And Joe, you have two of the most whistle clean restored bikes I've ever seen. They are really in nice shape. And Joe is just excited as I am on getting out on the open road this summer. And we look forward to a lot of group rides and a lot of trips on the bikes. And today was just a sweet ride. The weather was perfect. And thank you, Terry, for making us a nice cup of coffee at the end of the ride. And thanks so much for watching.